Hi, Dee. Welcome to our home. So this is the entryway here. We built this from the ground up. So it's the first time I've ever done anything like that. It was quite an undertaking. I think having spent so much time as an expat in Europe and really falling in love with Georgian proportions and those kind of details, I really wanted the entryway to feel like its own special room. And so with the architects, we conceived of having a fireplace, which is something you see a lot in Europe, in an entryway, and just gives this really nice feeling of warmth and welcome as you come in. The tiles reminds me of, as I said, my time living in London, and just a detail that's classic and traditional. I really like the mix of having the things that are sort of systemic to the house. They're more traditional. We have reclaimed fireplaces and old floors, and then I think it gives sort of leeway to have a more contemporary, like mixed experience with the furnishings and stuff like that. This is one of my favorite little rooms of the house, the powder room. It's got all of this hand-done antiqued mirror and hand-painted wallpaper. It's got a reclaimed sink. It's got tons of different textures and metal finishes. It's really pretty. I love it. It makes me feel very grown up when I pee in here. So this is the dining room here. I enlisted my friend Bridget to help me furnish the house. She's been one of my best friends for 20 years, and I was trying to do it by myself, and I couldn't do it. But some of the things I had ordered before we started, like this beautiful table. This came from France, a beautiful furniture gallery called Colco's. And then Bridget found these really cool contemporary chairs. And this chandelier, which I can't decide if it looks like a grasshopper or lily pads or something. It's a little futuristic for me. Bridget and I don't want to say we fought, but there was some friction, and then we landed on it being pretty cool and fabulous. That's what I love about it, is the pearls. I think they're so beautiful and unique. There's something also a bit Star Trek about it, but I've grown to really love it. And again, we have a reclaimed fireplace here from Chateau de Ming, and then this wallpaper is so amazing. It's hand painted by these artists in Los Angeles. It's called MJ Atelier, and they also made the powder room wallpaper. They do these incredible 3D wallpapers and all kinds of different textures and colors. So I love that the wallpaper really grounds the room in kind of a more traditional feel, and then again we have some super contemporary items mixed in. I entertain a lot, I cook all the time, and I wanted it to feel both welcoming, but also that you could have like a formal dinner party. And I think it strikes the right balance. I mean, the kitchen's right there, so we have our informal there, but it's also nice to just kind of gather around here with the kids, and you can spill pasta and wine and it just wipes right off. So this is the kitchen. I love it so much, the heart of the home. This was designed by the architects who did the house, Roman and Williams. They're an amazing design firm in New York, and they did all of the architecture. And they had done my apartment in New York City, which I don't have anymore. They had done this kitchen there for me, which I lived in this kitchen. It was bright and airy and white, and it had a lot of these similar details, like in the cabinetry. So I wanted to pull in some elements from the kitchen that they had done for us there, cabinetry being one, and also having the range be in the middle of the room, because I cook so much and I spent so much of my time facing the wall, and my kids would be in the room. So when it's like this, you have the opportunity to cook and chat with people. This is Portuguese tile. It's reclaimed tile that Robin from Roman and Williams found. And I just look for those little elements to kind of bring some texture and some homey feeling in. We also put the fireplace in, which is like such a luxury to be able to have a wood-burning fireplace in your kitchen. You know, it does take me back to my days living in the UK. I had 2 wood-burning fireplaces in the kitchen. And it was just such an important element of like beating those cold, dark winters. And I just got so used to having the fires on all the time. So when Robin and Stephen and I came to sit down and design the house, I said, I'd love to have, if it's possible, I'd love to have a fireplace in the kitchen. And then Bridget and I kind of came up with this really cool treatment to make this fluting with plaster, which I found on something similar on like Pinterest. And then I was like, I think this would be such a nice way to finish the wall instead of just having some drywall. And then Bridget found these amazing lights that are just so beautiful. And then this I love particularly. This is like my dream, to have all my pots lined up on these beautiful cast iron pots. In the fall, I love to cook. I love to braise things and make soups and stews and warming things. I always gravitate towards whatever produce is in season. Then, in spring is like you start to get this abundance in California of all this amazing produce. I mean, we get it all year round. We're very spoiled. But I love really fresh, like just farmers. I love going to the farmer's market and planning the meal on the fly. My son's favorite recipe that I make is turkey meatballs or turkey ragu. He loves pasta and he loves turkey sauce, so I would say that's his favorite. And my daughter loves when I make, they're pasta lovers. I think her favorite is either this lemon Parmesan pasta that I make her or a spicy marinara. Very easy. This also was like a dream come true for me, to have these particular blue plates like on a wall. And I think it just, if you get plates, that have a beautiful pattern, you want to see them, and usually they're just stacked in the cupboard. So we did this plate wall, and it brings like a pop of color to the house. And then Stephen, the architect, he insisted on us realizing his rolling ladder, which I love. And I'm so glad, because there was a fight between Matt, the contractor, and Stephen about whether this would be actually like usable and workable. This is something that I learned from the woman that I bought my house from in Los Angeles, Windsor Smith, another designer. I loved how in different rooms she completely changes floors, and I think it's such a nice way to offer a distinct personality to a room. And so I'm not afraid of changing floors, as you'll see as we go through. So this is the living room. It's kind of bonkers in the best way, I think. I really wanted it to be a bit of a showstopper, and there were certain elements that I really knew that I wanted. I had this swing in a different house, and the original swing we lost in a fire, but I really had a vision of having this swing there, which I lie in it all the time. I mean, I go there and I read or talk on the phone or whatever, and it's become one of my favorite spots. The lights, I'm friendly with Lindsay Adelman, who's an amazing lighting designer, as I'm sure you know, and I kind of just sent her drawings of the room, and I said, just do whatever. And so she came back with this insanely beautiful, this is, I think, from her Paradise collection. I think it's Paradise City. I think it's somehow inspired by Guns N' Roses. It's just so cool, and it was so nice to give such an amazing artist like Lindsay license to just do whatever she wanted. Like, we made no edits. I just said, do it. It's like the jewelry for the living room. This bar is, I found this, I found the inspiration on the internet, this beautiful kind of jade bar somewhere. It was very modern, and so I asked Stephen and Robin if there was a way that we could kind of take the idea but make it different and unique and also slightly more traditional to fit in with those more traditional elements of the house. And so they drew this beautiful thing, and then Bridget and I went to the stone yard, and we were kind of like wandering around. We didn't know what material we were gonna choose, and we were looking at some quartzes and some different marbles, and then we both came from different directions and like saw this and fell in love with it at the same time. I don't even know what kind of marble it is, but it's so pretty. I usually have some Japanese whiskey is usually my favorite thing to have. Unfortunately, I'm not drinking very much this year, so I'm having mostly seed lip cocktails, which is like mocktail or sparkling water. But when the time comes, I will heavily utilize her. This couch, I don't remember where I first saw this couch, but I knew that I wanted it for this house when I saw it. I ordered it, and then I was like, Bridget, help me. And then she kind of modified the size a little bit. I just love that it's already in a U shape so that people feel like they can pile in. There's something almost like 70s about that, which I love. And we actually use this all the time. Even though we just kind of moved in, we're in this room a lot, and it's like a really nice place to sit and be together. Okay, this is kind of the most incredible thing of the house. It's a bit of a spa moment happening. Understatement. You know, I'm into wellness, so I feel like it's justified, right? Yeah, well, maybe I can write it off as a business expense then. I think when we were conceiving of the house, we were trying to think of just like a forever home, and what would be the few things that are just so special and that, you know, you could use when you're much older. And so we were kind of thinking it would be amazing to have a real spa, and there's one in Paris called Bain de la Marée, and it sort of mimics that in its own way. And Robin and Steven found these amazing tiles. They're handmade, and I love all the details that they had done and the color. And it's very calming in here as well. And there's a cold plunge, excellent for circulation, a hot tub, and then there's a steam and a sauna. These are beautiful. These are Roman and Williams designed these for Waterworks. It's part of their Atlas collection, and it's beautiful. It's like this kind of industrial design, and the unlacquered brass that we have as a theme kind of running throughout the house, which I love, which gives everything such like a great hand. I come in here every day. I use it all the time. And whenever I'm in here, I'm like, pinch me. I cannot believe that this is our house, so we live here. It's so fun. Well, AD, thank you so much for stopping by. It was a real pleasure to have you. And I have to go make some meatballs. So see you later.